Hi, my name is Idris Kamoga. Welcome. We are in June, right? 2025 is seamlessly running. We've gotten out of the low season, right? And we are already stepping into the high season. And it's rolling slowly um, and slowly, but we have to move, right? We've got June, July, August, all the way until the end of October, because we've got a lot. These are operational months. Of course, we've looked at preparations for the high season, and I'm sure we've all made our efforts to see that the season finds us well armed and well equipped, right? So trust me, business has to come your way. But we want to remind you that this particular month, remember the year is half now. Evaluation is very important. Step back, start evaluating your performance of the first half of the year. You see, and if you can look, even in governments, this is when annual budgets are read, agents review their performances, and all that stuff. We wouldn't want to follow the same calendar, but I want to say this is the best month for you to make self-evaluation of your company performance. Look at your sales report. How have you moved? January, February, March, April, May, currently June. You see, if you had an annual sales target that you set at the beginning of the year, of course you must be half of it. Ask yourself questions. If you're lagging behind, why? Do you have relevant answers to those questions? So this particular month is key to that. Of course, there will be a lot of field operations running up and down to the airports. Drivers are busy. Everyone will be busy around this season, trust me. I want to accept that the COVID rush is getting a bit down, right? It might be a busy year or a busy season. It may not be as 2024, but still, we must devise means on how we can see that our performance improves on and on. That's the most important thing. I've already told you, speed doesn't matter, but what matters is, are you moving forward? That's the most important. And consistency, to me, that's the most important thing. Most of you, the entrepreneurs in tourism businesses, are not consistency. You cannot apply a certain method over time, whether it's working or not working. And this is where we are lacking. So whenever you identify something that gives you positive results, it's very key that you consistently apply it, right? This is how successful agencies achieve success along the way, right? Otherwise, success is not and it's not an overnight event. So you must have it over time, coupled with consistency and commitment. Otherwise, those were some of, by the way, key words that I wanted to bring to your attention. But today it's a Monday, and we want to give you what we call our tourism business tip, right? This is the most important key. And today we want to look at micro selling in tourism business, right? By definition, we can say micro. We've got so many small services or products that we want to sell, and I want to emphasize it. Adopt micro selling in tourism. You're a tour operator. We're going to look at what are these micro services that you would want. Tour operators are known for selling services in bulk. Remember, you aggregate them, you bring transport, experiences, attractions, accommodation, name it, all together, and you sell them to a tourist. Hotels can also take part in micro selling, and we can break a few services under micro selling. And we're saying guests are now seeing buying an all-inclusive package quite expensive, and it's ideal now to adopt the micro selling strategy in tourism. And what are these, micro services that we can look at? Of course, you can start, either a platform or within a department, your agency that will be doing ticketing. Ticketing is something that can be micro. You sell tickets to your clients. You can as well be selling permits, park permits. You're buying them, gorilla permits, chimpanzee permits, taking them to the boat. All experience permits are very key. Car hire, rental services, as micro, you know, something small, but someone comes to you and is hiring a Land Cruiser or a custom or a drone or whatever van for 10 days, 5 days. You can as well do airport transfers. These are all micro services to break them down for you. You can as well look at guided tours. Probably you're doing city excursions. Small services, but trust me, at the end of the month, because we're looking at one, survival. Because in one way or the other, I am telling you, it is becoming tricky and hard to find a client that is going to buy probably 13 days or 14 days at about 15,000 US dollars. And what these clients are doing apparently is to buy microservices and they aggregate them together. So we want to see that you can have a survival at the end of the day. You see, you can make some little money, and of course we'll look at the benefits of micro selling, and it's very important. So other micro, services or products that you can look at as an operator or someone who is in tourism business. Hotel reservation. Of course, clients will write to you an email and say, can you book us 2 doubles or can you book us 2 singles for 4 nights? And I can imagine you making some $10 off each room. Of course, you can have about $80. You may look at $80 as a small fee, but at the end of the month, trust me, you'll bundle them together and you can have something to take from home, and you can be able to break even. Right, let's look at the benefits of micro selling. Having these small items, selling them to the population, and of course they will move because they are very cheap and you're selling them in bits and they come with little profit. Of course, you're maximizing revenue streams. And remember, the heart of your company is the sales department. It has to remain functional at all times. So it gives you additional revenue streams for you to be able to earn. I've had a talk quite a number of times with my colleagues, and what bothers most agencies is the sales department failing to function. And when the sales department fails to function, it means there's no revenue coming in, and that kills the entire company. So how do we keep the revenue department functional? Through micro selling. You see, of course, there will be additional revenues coming through than focusing on an all-inclusive package. I'm telling you, it's becoming a bit tricky and hard. And I can predict moving forward, 2027, 2028, remember, tour operation or tourism business agents is more or less being replaced by online travel agencies. Booking.com, Viator, Safari Booking, all those. And someone can easily buy from these because, of course, they come with cheaper offers, right? Cash flow. we're all looking at cash flow. We've done a video about cash flow, and having these micro selling, the products, services, they will help you. And we've said if you want to be successful, you must observe your cash flow. And cash flow simply means what comes in must be bigger than your expenditure. If you have it the other way around, you're earning very little and you're spending more, of course, you'll definitely have to collapse. So we have to look at cash flow issues. Stability in cash flow will probably help you so well. And lastly, it's quality control, right? Because you're selling internally, you're doing your ticketing, at a micro level. You're hiring vehicles at a micro level. All this, you're ensuring quality control to your clients. Of course, you may not have 100% guarantee from external suppliers that you might outsource. But if you're looking at quality control, you must have these services internally offered or products internally sold other than engaging a third party, right? So I hope you've learned something today. It's been our tourism business tip, and it's been all about micro selling of tourism businesses, right? Find something that you can incorporate within your tour operation, your hospitality agency that you're probably running, to help you maximize or probably have additional revenue streams for proper, day-to-day running of your agency. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for keeping watching our YouTube tutorials. Of course, we'll be bringing these and more, right? Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media handles. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and LinkedIn. Right. Otherwise, I can't wait to see you in our next video, and bye-bye. Thank you.